Welcome to Miss Pam Reads. Today we are reading a book about a very difficult topic. And parents, I want you to be aware that if you are not ready to watch this with your child, I wouldn't let them watch it alone. They'll probably have questions. But it is a book that someone has asked me to read so that it is available for children in the situation that we will be discussing. So this book is called A Kid's Book About Death. And it is written by Taryn Schuelke. See, here it says, Better Together. This book is best read together, grown-up and kid. A Kid's Book About Death by Taryn Schuelke. Death can be one of the most difficult topics to discuss, no matter your age. It can feel especially intimidating to address with kids. However, kids are ready to talk about it. They are able to understand death and cope with grief. I know this because I have dedicated my career and education to support families with this conversation. This book helps explore what death is, how it makes us feel, and how we respond to it. I tried to keep it as basic as possible so that you and your kid can have deeper conversations about whatever topics matter most. Feel free to pause at some of the questions throughout the book to discuss further, or take a break if you want. You can always come back to the book at any time. What kids need most when facing this topic is a trusted grown-up who will be honest and sensitive. Now, let's do this together. You just opened a kid's book, but it isn't a typical kid's book. This book is about death. Just like every book has a beginning and an end, so does every living thing. The end part is called death, and sometimes it can be really hard to talk about. Why? Because it can cause big feelings: acceptance, heartbreak, sadness, confusion, envy, gloom, bother, certainty, aching, ease, powerlessness, eagerness, fulfilledness, caution, guilt, worry, awkwardness, sensitivity, sorrow, numbness, horror, devastation, interest, worry, bitterness, protectiveness, loss, humiliation, confidence, confusion, anger, crankiness, motivation, anxiety, astonishment, relief, challenge, jitters, hope, courage, gratification, strength, warmth, exhaustion, paranoia, impatience, nausea, shakiness, obsession, angst, playfulness, loneliness, hurt, reflection, fear, gratitude, embarrassment, shyness, neutrality, distress, love, grief, peace, snappiness, cowardliness, optimism, rage, agitation, intimacy, joy, compassion, pain, selfishness, anger, tension, defeat, hostility, misfortune, hesitation, exclusion, regret, thankfulness, pride, fury, anticipation, curiosity, tiredness, neediness, distress, restlessness, helplessness, denial, calm. And the ... means and even more. Good feelings and hard feelings. The truth is, there's no right or wrong way to feel about death. In fact, people usually feel a lot of these things all at the same time. Even grown-ups. Actually, grown-ups can also have a hard time talking about death. Give your grown-up a high five for being brave and getting you this book. I talk to people about death all the time. I know that sounds weird, but it's my job. I want to help you talk about death too, and I hope this book will make that a little easier. So if you're ready, let's do this. First, to understand death, it's important to know what alive means. To be alive means that the body is working, the mind is thinking, and the person is feeling. If you are reading this book, that means you're alive. Are you with me so far? Great! Okay, now I'm going to describe how death works. Imagine a flower growing in a garden. The sun is shining and everything is just fine. Then the flower gets picked. What do you think will happen to the flower? With time, the flower will die. For people, it's kind of like that too. Dying begins when important parts of the body stop working, like the lungs, which breathe air, like the heart, which pumps blood, like the kidney and liver, which clean the blood and other things, like the brain, which tells the body what to do. These are called vital organs. Vital organs are super important. When a vital organ stops working, it's called dying. Other parts of the body can stop working and the person can be fine, like arms, eyes, ears, or toes. Every living thing can get sick or hurt, like when you catch a cold or break a bone. That's normal. Being sick or hurt is not the same as dying. Dying doesn't start unless one of these things happen. People get really, really old and the body can't work anymore. Sometimes a big accident can cause an injury that stops the vital organs. Other times, people can make death happen on purpose. There are also serious illnesses that can be deadly to the body. Dying can be quick, or it can take some time. If it takes some time to die, the dying person's body changes. Those vital organs aren't working like they used to, so the person might not be as hungry or might be really tired all the time. That's okay. The dying body shows everyone what the person needs, and then everyone does what they can to help that person be calm and comfortable. So how do we know if someone is dead? Death happens when everything stops working. Dead means the body stopped working completely and can't be alive anymore. At that point, we would say the person has died. That means their body can no longer eat, talk, feel, walk, or pick their nose. All the things living people do. No matter how someone dies, we honor and respect their body and take care of it after death. There are lots of different ways people take care of a dead body. Some people have a funeral or memorial service. A viewing of the body might happen. It might be important to touch or not touch the body. Some people bury the body right away or on a specific day after the death. There might be songs, prayers, or thoughtful words. Some people keep special items with the body. Other people might choose cremation for the body, which means turning the body into ashes. Sometimes dead bodies are placed in tombs. And many other ways. It depends on what the dying person wants or what their family chooses. What do you think is a great way to show care and respect after death? So this might be a good time to pause the video and talk about that, or we'll just keep going. Now you know, when it comes to death, there is a lot to talk about. Remember those big feelings? Have you felt any while you're thinking about death or reading this book? Now, tell me, or let me tell you, the most important thing. Death is normal. When and how it happens can feel unfair, but it's something that everyone will experience. Death is a part of life. Do you know someone who has died? Do you know someone who is dying? I want you to know that it's okay to talk about it. Talking about dying or someone who has died can be really comforting and helpful. You can remember great moments and special days. You can celebrate the person's life. You can share stories, wishes, and dreams. When we talk about death, it creates community, belonging, and family. That's my clock striking, so we're just going to pause for a second, because these questions coming up are really important. It's 11 o'clock. All right. So when we talk about death, it creates community, belonging, and family. It helps us think about what we believe in, like, what is our purpose? What is the meaning of life? Is there something after death? Is there a special part of us that continues on? It helps us talk about what really matters. And that can be beautiful. One thing I know for sure is that death doesn't end a relationship. I bet you're wondering, How is that possible? Because love doesn't end with death. Love continues and grows and changes over time, even after death. This makes people feel and act in new ways. This is called grief. All that love builds up inside, and they have to figure out what to do with it. If you want some ideas, there is a list in the back of this book. The things they decide to do or say or make out of a love that keeps the relationship going. Why? That love only exists because the relationship happened. Remember that life is like a story. Just because the book closes doesn't mean you forget what the story was or the way it made you feel. Remember, death is normal, and it's okay to talk about it. So as you close this book, I hope you will keep talking about these things. And if those big feelings happen, I hope you talk about those too. Your thoughts matter. Your feelings matter. Your questions matter. Your life matters. And then these are just some ideas to keep the love growing. So this is, you want to remember someone who's died. You could wear their favorite color. Take a picture with their picture. Visit their favorite place. Write them a letter and keep it in a safe place. Make a cake on their birthday. Hold something that was theirs. Think about them during important moments. Tell stories about them. Draw them a special picture. Say their name to someone. Eat their favorite food. Listen to one of their favorite songs. That was a great explanation and a good way to talk to kids about death. I hope you found this book helpful. Certainly you can watch it as many times as you'd like. If you need to, you could go and buy it. A kid's book about death by Taryn Schuelke. Thank you. Bye.